What's up, Rich Fantastic with you, giving you the recap of the games from week now 14 of the NFL season. Chicago 33-7 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Mitchell Trubisky 25 of 32, 271 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Jordan Howard 23 carries, 147 yards, 6.4 per rush, 2 touchdowns. Tariq Cohen 12 of 80, 6.7. Mitchell Trubisky 2 of 5, that's 2.5 yards per rush. He did have a touchdown. 38 of 232, 6.1 yards per rush, and the 3 touchdowns. Kendall Wright, top receiver, 10 for 107. Josh Bellamy, 2 of 52. Adam Shaheen, 4 of 44 with the touchdown. Eddie Jackson recovered a fumble. The team had 3 sacks. Lamar Houston, Howard Jones, and Roy Robertson Harris. Eddie Jackson had an interception. Tariq Cohen, 2 kick returns, 39 yards. 2 punt returns, 7 yards. Mike Nugent, 2 for 2 in his field goals for the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton, 14 of 29, 141 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. A.J. McCarron came in, 4 of 8, 47 yards. The team between the two, 18 of 37, 164 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Giovanni Bernard, top rusher, 11 of 62. The team, that's 5.6. The team was 13 of 75.4 yards per rush. Giovanni Bernard, top receiver, 6 of 68. A.J. Green, 5 of 64. Brandon LaFell, 3 of 24. The touchdown. Tyler Boyd, 1 of 15. A.J. Green lost a fumble. The team had 2 sacks, both by Michael Johnson, no interceptions. Alex Erickson, 5 of 97, 19.4 yards per rush, or 19.4 yards per return. 2 punt returns, 12 yards. Randy Bullock did not attempt any field goals. Bengals, it was a bad game for them. I didn't expect it to be this bad. I expected Chicago to win, but they had a lot of defensive injuries. It showed in this game. Their quarterback play was not good, and their season is essentially over at this point. For Chicago, you got what you wanted to see from Mitchell Trubisky. Showed throughout the game that he could do what you needed to do. Again, he was showing flashes for most part of the season. They, of course, had the big running day, which will always help, and the defense was very much injured for the Cincinnati Bengals, but he still did that, so that's a big step for them moving forward. Detroit 24-21 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Detroit is now 7-6, staying alive in the NFC wildcard chase. Very nice 5-2 on the road. Tampa Bay drops to 4-9. Matthew Stafford, 36 of 44, 381 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, however. He had to do that because, again, they cannot run the ball. 10 carries for 29 yards for Theo Riddick, 2.9 per rush, 2 touchdowns. Tion Green, 5 of 15. The team 18 of 53, 2.9 yards per rush. Eric Ebron, 10 receptions, 94 yards. Golden Tate, 8 of 85 for the touchdown. Marvin Jones Jr., 3 of 64. Theo Riddick, 6 of 64. Again, you look at the distribution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys caught passes. 6 of them caught more than 1. 5 of them caught more than 2. And 3 of them caught more than 5. So Matt Stafford, again, distributing the ball. Tahir Whitehead, DJ Hayden, Darius Slay recovered fumbles. Eric Ebron lost the fumble. TJ Jones fumbled. It was not lost. The team had 3 sacks. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, DJ Hayden a half sack, Ezekiel Ansah, and Jared Davis the others. Quandre Diggs and Darius Slay both had interceptions. TJ Jones, 4 kick returns, 70 yards. 17.5 average, 3 punt returns, 16 yards, 5.3 average, but a longest of 17, so the other 2 obviously were not very good, and Matt Prater made his only field goal. For the Buccaneers, Jameis Winston, 26 of 38, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Peyton Barber, top rusher, 12 of 58, 4.8. Doug Martin, 10 of 26, 2.6, the touchdown. Deshaun Jackson had a 23-yard rush. The team was 28 of 133, 4.8 yards per rush. You did have that Deshaun Jackson rush. Charles Sims had 3 for 16. Jameis Winston, 2 of 10, but a longest of 11 for both of them. Obviously, you look at some of the longs. Peyton Barber at 4.8, a longest of 16. So the numbers look pretty good, but you take out the long runs that they had, and they're really not there. But that is a lot of long runs to begin with. So it's, half and half in that regard. Chris Goodwin, 5 receptions, 68 yards. O.J. Howard, 4 of 54. Deshaun Jackson, 4 of 41. Mike Evans, 2 of 25. Levante David recovered a fumble. Doug Martin, Jameis Winston, and O.J. Howard all lost fumbles. No sacks. Brent Grimes, Robert McClain had 2 interceptions. Jacquizz Rodgers, 3 kick returns, 60 yards. There were no punt returns. Patrick Murray did not attempt any field goals. Detroit, look, it is what it is going to be for the rest of their season. Matt Stafford having to do everything. Tyron Green played well last week. I forgot his name in the previews. Amir Abdullah didn't play, so you were already a little limited with your running game situation, but it's just not there. It hasn't been there all season, and you would have to assume that at this point, if they want to have any hope, it's just going to be Matt Stafford. Buffalo 13-7 over Indianapolis in overtime. Buffalo still trying to stay alive. They're 7-6, 5-2 at home. Indianapolis drops to 3-10. Jacoby Brissett 11 of 22, 69 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. There was terrible weather in this game, so we're not really going to kill the quarterbacks for bad play. Frank Gore 36 carries, 130 yards, 3.6 yards per rush. That should be indicative of the snow that you're running a guy that much at that age when he's not even that effective at 3.6. Marlon Mack, 7 carries, 23 yards. Jacoby Brissett, 3 of 10. That's 3.3 for the both of them. 46 of 163. We'll get to Buffalo. They ran the ball a ton as well. 3.5 yards per rush, however. Marlon Mack, 2 receptions, 21 yards. T.Y. Hilton, 2 of 20. This is receiving. Frank Gore, 1 of 10. Jack Doyle, 2 of 4. He had the touchdown. Barkevius Mingo recovered a fumble. No sacks. Matthias Farley had an interception. Josh Ferguson, 2 kick returns, 34 yards. Chester Rogers, 1 for 2. Adam Vinatieri missed 2 field goals. Obviously critical in a game that goes to overtime. But again, the weather was terrible. Nathan Peterman, 5 of 10. Tyrod Taylor was not able to go. He was a game-time decision. He was listed as questionable. I didn't even think he would be listed as questionable. That's why I saw that. I figured they were making a concerted effort to get him out there, and he would have gone. He didn't. Nathan Peterman, 5 of 10, 57 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception. Joe Webb, 2 of 6. 35 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Altogether, 7 of 16, 92 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Really not terrible when you consider the weather and you had a rookie quarterback and a guy who's a receiver throwing passes. LeSean McCoy, 32 carries, 156 yards, 4.9 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. He had the game winner in overtime. Mike Tolbert, 6 of 32, 5.3. Joe Webb, 5 of 27, 5.4. 51 of 227, 4.5 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin, 3 receptions, 38 yards, a touchdown. Deontay Thompson, 1 of 34. Charles Clay, 2 of 11. Nick O'Leary, 1 of 9. So shows the numbers in the passing game for Buffalo. Mike Tolbert lost the fumble. Nathan Peterman fumbled and recovered. 1 sack, it was Ryan Davis, no interceptions. Kick returns, Brandon Tate, 3 of 52, 17.3 average, which isn't very good, and long of 27, which is all right, but you take those off. That means the other 2 were 2 of 25, which really isn't good at all. Stephen Hauschka did not attempt any field goals. Buffalo getting the win. They ran the ball well. We'll have to see what happens with Tyrod Taylor moving forward. If they don't have him, we'll have to see Nathan Peterman. Obviously, the 2 times we got him was his first start. He was clearly overwhelmed and was not able to get the job done. In this game, of course, he was very much limited with the weather. So it's really what will happen with Tyrod Taylor moving forward and Nathan Peterman in better conditions for the Indianapolis Colts. Just a bad year continues to get worse. Frank Gore still putting up pretty respectable numbers at his age. But, this is what you're going to get when you don't have Andrew Luck. Green Bay avoided a disaster, got the win 27-21 in overtime against the Cleveland Browns. For whatever reason, Green Bay's box score is not coming up, so we'll just go with Cleveland's right now. I really don't have time to deal with it. DeShone Kizer was 20 of 28, 214 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. By the way, Green Bay is 7-6. Cleveland drops to 0-13. Isaiah Crowell, 19 carries, 121 yards. Again, Cleveland has run the ball very well in many games this season. Duke Johnson Jr., though, 6 of 8. DeShone Kizer, 2 of 7. Those brought the numbers down to 27 of 136, but still 5 yards per rush in a game that they led by 14 points. Josh Gordon, 3 receptions, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Corey Coleman, 5 of 62. A touchdown. Duke Johnson Jr., 4 of 41. And a touchdown. Seth DeVale, 2 of 16. Duke Johnson Jr. recovered a fumble. The team had 1 sack. It was Nate Orchard. No interceptions. Matthew Days, 2 kick returns, 24 yards. Duke Johnson Jr., 2 of 5. Zane Gonzalez did not attempt a field goal. And now Green Bay's box scores come up. Actually, just the defensive stat. I don't know. Maybe there's something that occurred through reviewing film or whatever that they don't have the off. I have no idea. They had 2 sacks, Clay Matthews and Kyle Fackrell. Clinton Dix, Josh Jones had interceptions. I believe Clinton Dix was the one in overtime to set up the game winner. Mason Crosby did not attempt any field goals. 3 kick returns, 75 yards, 2 of 63. I did see the end of this game. Hundley made some passes. He was composed at the end. Green Bay came back. I told you this could be a difficult game for them. I would never pick Cleveland to win. If I was going to pick Cleveland to win, it would have been a game like this, but I just can't do it. And they showed why you can't pick them to win. Just too many mistakes. They couldn't hold on to a lead. And again, they run the ball way too well to be 0-13, first of all, and to lose games that you're up by 14 points against a backup quarterback. And I'm sorry again about not having Green Bay's box score. All right, we'll be back in a little bit and finish up with the recaps of the early games of Week 14 of the NFL season. And, of course, we appreciate all subscriptions as well. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you in a little bit.